Wow. Oh, hell yeah, I got a package. Yes! Yeah, so stoked, dude. So 100% stoked. Absolutely 100% do have my package here from Jim at Texoma. Did get my brand new Harpoon. I got the second one. I see a lot of people doing this too. I'm not the only one. It's not because I'm a hoarder. I see a lot of people buying more than one Harpoon. Let's get over to Big 5 and pick up some targets for tomorrow. Finally made it into Big 5, guys. We're gonna get what we need and get on the road. See, I told you I actually do make these trips in. I don't do everything on Amazon. It is nice though. Amazon is one of the most convenient things in the modern world, but it's crushing small business. Yeah. All right, now this is kind of a rough part of town, so I guess the question begs to be asked, how do I feel comfortable walking around with a camera and just vlogging like this? This camera ain't the only hardware in my bag. All right, guys, we successfully made it through all of our errands today, both the post office as well as the Big 5 trip to go ahead and grab those targets. Let's see what's in the box. Oh, got out of hand quick there. This thick cardboard, man. I love this little mini cleaver. Always cut away from yourself. Do as I say, not as I do. Right. Let's see what we get. It's all precision packed. Still nothing. Aha! Everything comes apart if you take out enough bolts. These are proverbial bolts, right? Proverbial bolts. Let's moving right along. As you can see, no AEA box, but I'm totally cool with that. This was purchased directly from Jim at Texoma Precision Pellets, and he is always very safe about the way he ships things. This may actually be, with this extra wrap, more safe than the way you get it from the AEA factory, so that's cool. Hey, cool! This may be a shirt. Is this a shirt? Is this swag? I don't know how buff this dude thinks I am. Man, I wear medium, brother. Medium. Large. Large will shrink up well in very, very hot water and hot drying cycle. We could be in luck here, boys. This is good. Let's check it out. TPP gang. TPP gang, what up? Oh, that's pretty sick too. Oh, yeah. Not comfortable enough with my boyish physique here to go ahead and change in front of you guys on camera, but it is a cool shirt nonetheless. Cool. Cartridge 1. Cartridge 2. Cool. This comes with all kinds of extras, it looks like. I'm happy with this. I would not have gotten any of this in the AEA box, and I do know that because I did buy the AEA box also. Let's see the meat and potatoes of this shit. Yep, it's got that mass production feel to it, boy. I have both Jim at Texoma's barrels as well as these barrels. Just straight up out of the gate, 100%, not talking shit about AEA at all, but Jim made better barrels than the AEA factory did. How do I know that? Because the Jim barrels actually go all the way back into the breech where they're supposed to and match up with the cartridge correctly, whereas these, I do believe, do require adapters additional to the cartridge where Jim's do not. Also, if you go ahead and you look at it, you don't have anywhere as far as tightening faces for a wrench to go on the end of this guy. You're basically just locked into the idea of doing this as tight as you physically can by hand and hoping that that's good enough. It probably is good enough, right? It probably is just fine. But by the same token, there are added niceties and added luxuries just straight up out of the gate that I do see on Jim's barrels that I don't see on these barrels. That doesn't mean that in any sense that these are, you know, substandard or are going to perform in any different of a fashion than Jim's would. It just means that the mass production guys are never going to make it the exact same way as the artists and craftsmen that you're going to find with people like Jim at Texoma. I can tell definitely just side-by-side comparison that this is a different build quality. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take it one step further and grab my other Harpoon so that you guys can see this side-by-side build quality for yourself. Should have had that thing out here before I ever even got started. Alright guys, this is Jim at Texoma's setup, and this is the Razorback rail full-size kit and spacer that I have sitting on my set. Here you go, it's just right out of the gate. Those are the facets that I'm talking about. Let's pull them off so just we can compare barrel to barrel. Alright guys, let's bring it in close and really delve into this. These are Jim at Texoma's barrels. You can see right away, once again, can't overstate that enough. There's flats on the side so you can turn it with a wrench. You also notice that these feed tubes right here, longer than the feed tubes for the AEA. Got the AEA one, got Jim's. This is why Jim's meets up perfectly, and this is why the AEA one does not and needs an adapter. You flip them around. Further signs of quality. You got internal and external chamfer on the bore here from Jim. It's a step that was proven too costly in the manufacture of this guy and does not come from the AEA factory. This one appears to be a little bit heavier in weight. And this guy over here, I don't have my scale out here and I'm not breaking it out to weigh a barrel. It's just not, it's inconsequential to me, right? But by the same token, this feels a little bit more girthy and has that good mass to it that you would hope to feel with an aluminum item. And this just feels just a little bit lighter. They're both O-ringed. There's no lacking there. 100% these are both O-ringed. So once you actually were to use the adapters that are necessary for this specific item, which are these guys right here, you would be ready to go, and it would be a gasketed seal. So there's no functional difference between the two minus the adapter, right? They're both O-ringed, they're both 12 gauge, they're both for the Harpoon itself, and they do fit it as a factory item. I do think though, I can't overstate, I do think the Jim's barrel is better. I wonder if they're even the same exterior diameter. You know, I wonder like if my Razorbacks are going to fit the new barrels versus the ones that they were designed for. Let's see if the Razorback fits over it. The spacer ring does fit over this, and the optic sights does fit over this. However, little bit wiggly. Look at this, guys. Little bit wiggly here as far as the fitment is concerned. That's going to mean that not only are these barrels lighter, but they're also less girthy than Jim's as well. So it's obviously not powder being burned here, so the robustness of the metal might not matter, but if it does matter to you as a patron, as a consumer, these barrels do not have as thick of a wall as Jim's barrels do. And it's interesting, now that it's been brought to my attention, I can visually see that between the two offerings. These cartridges have no pressure in them, I believe, and if I'm able to spin these back caps off by hand, which I am, I would say that they have no pressure in them whatsoever, which means they're safe to go ahead and fire at my house where it's illegal to actually fire a pellet gun. Make sure my firing pins work. Pop these guys right into the breech, cock the rifle, put it on the give 'em hell switch, click the pin. Two crispy strikes, boys. She's a runner. Good to go. Another good supply of burst discs is in the box. The single fill manifold port here is also in the box as well. 100% recommend. Do buy the double fill manifold. I mean, the best thing that you can do with your life if you have this platform is to get away from individually filling them and just fill them on the manifold block that Jim also makes. He's kind of the king of the machined accessories for this thing right now, and there's a reason for it, right? His stuff just works. Do Dude is really good at making these shot shells. They've improved and come an absolute long way over the time that he's been doing so. And honestly, this is a good design for lower powered platforms like the Harpoon. Everything that he makes as far as 12 gauge stuff with the AEA Zeus and the shot shells he produces for that, they're phenomenal. So to see them be tapered down to a lower powered offering that's really going to open up with less FPE than the Zeus brings to the table, it's a good alternative. And there's more in here too. This is good. I got hooked up, dude. These are probably $1 or $2 a piece. So the fact that I got 10 of them, that's probably 10 to 20 bucks I wouldn't have gotten the AEA box. How do these adapters fit up on the cartridges? Is it a good fit? Or is it a boo-boo kitty litter fit? Fits the same as everything else. This is good. Not bad. I definitely do wish that AEA had completely gotten their math correct and that we didn't need to use these adapters, because from what I understand, there's only about 12 of Jim's barrels sets in this country, which means that I've got like 8% of them, right? I mean, it's a crazy small number, but those 12 sets work impeccably. And it sounds like everybody else who buys the AEA sets is going to have to deal with these adapters. That would have been a cool thing to kind of go ahead and sidestep, especially since they had the ability to do so, bringing a new item to the market. It should have been measured right the first time. I've made mistakes too, though. You know, I'm no one to talk. I've definitely made my own share of mistakes when bringing a new product to the market as well. So no person is foolproof. No plan is infallible, right? Like, we all go through it. Big takeaway: no matter where you can get it, compact, double barrel, 72 caliber, pretty solid. No matter what, even if AEA does go back to the drawing board and add a couple extra inches in the right place, like what would all of us do with a couple extra inches in the right place? I think I'm definitely going to go ahead and do you guys the solid favor of reshaping the bores on the Razorback rail kit so that everyone out there can make use of it, as opposed to just the ones that fit Jim specific barrels. I definitely want to bring that availability to you guys because of how popular it was initially. Let's go ahead and jump into the shop and see what it takes to go ahead and knock this out. Alright dudes, we're all 100% done with our test print. It is the next day. I did sleep it off, right? I did 100% just let this sit on the print bed all night, but as you fly it on quite well. It's got that good fitment, but it's also got no slop to it whatsoever. That means that this is going to be a good, absolutely valid test print for us to go ahead and do a final cut. Alright guys, the fruits of our labor are finally here in front of us. We have absolutely gotten to the end of the process on hooking up these two AEA Harpoons in slightly different formats. Got the larger Razorback on the one I previously had with Jim's barrels on it, and the smaller Razorback that we went ahead and put together for the new one with the AEA barrels on it. Do have all 4 of my cartridges 100% charged up at this point, and they are all to the 5,000 PSI mark. I did use the hand pump on them. But the big takeaway for me is I've got 2 double barrel shotguns. That's my big takeaway. So no matter what, I need to get footage of myself dual wielding said shotguns. And the only way to do that is to take it to the range. Let's get it, guys. Alright guys, we made it all the way out here to the Wildland range today, and I am here to test one thing. Which one of these barrel options, be it Jim's barrels or be it the AEA barrels, is going to give you the better velocity? Now we already know that the AEA barrels require adapters, whereas Jim's barrels were engineered correctly and do not require that style of an adapter. let's go ahead and fire these things over the chrony sequentially with the charges that we got together last night. These 4 cartridges have sat overnight and are now sitting in 32-degree weather, so we'll see if they even go off, right? But I have my dual fill manifold with me, and I have everything I need to repeat this test a bunch of times to really suss out the answer for you guys. Ears on, no wasting time. First thing we're gonna do is we're going to baseline with the previous model. These are Jim's cartridges. These are Jim's barrels here. And I just want to see if his new shot shells not only open up, but can get a good velocity reading. They do just kind of self-center in there. Yep. Self-center in there. Works good. Cartridge appears to be still charged. Cartridge appears to be still charged. Cocked. On safe. Single shot. Breech is closed. Safety works. 4-4-9. 4-5-5. So very consistent. I do consider that to be actual data that we just gained there, as opposed to just randomized numbers. With that close of a shot spread on cartridges that have sat homogenized overnight in the same conditions, I can't say that that was anything but valid data. Don't waste anybody's time. Don't waste anybody's precious content minutes. Next cartridges, next shells. These adapters go on here. These, according to Jim, spin in a couple of turns on the threads. Like so. I'm not comfortable holding both of them, right? I don't want to accidentally point one at myself, considering the fact that this is basically like the loaded power plant to a gun. A little bit more meticulous to get this one loaded. Okay, but it did go in there. Total objectivity, it 100% goes in the breech, it 100% does go in the bore. Rifle is cocked, it is now on safe. The breech closes, that's all a person can ask for. Functionality to functionality, there is no difference between Jim's barrels at this point and the AEA barrels. Let's see if the velocity numbers tell a different tale. Again, the safety works, man. It lets you pull it all the way through that whole action and you get nothing. 3-8-3. 4-1-3. Just because it's YouTube and people in the comments know everything, I guarantee you, people are going to be like, oh, there's no way to say that those cartridges were the same as the first one. So what we're going to do is we're going to break out our dual fill manifold, fill up all of our cartridges one more time off the same large bottle, and repeat the exact same test. That average of 4 shots from each platform should give us a really good idea of what we're looking at. So it's actually really promising, based on the fact that I had no faith in this system to go ahead and hold pressure, but absolutely all of our cartridges 100% went bang today with no help, no excuses, and no foibles. That only points to me that AEA may have improved the mechanics of the way these cartridges function or seal to be able to provide better performance for the AEA users. God damn, that was a fast, hot fill right there. Though that's some pressure in this bottle. That gives me good faith. Again, hot fill, boy. Fed down into the breech. Okay, good to go. 415. Consistent velocity directly over the top of that target both times. I'll try to aim a little bit lower on this next volley, but let's go ahead and see what the velocity is. Now, once again, same ammo, same fill tank, same manifold. Everything is the same within 3 to 5 minutes of filling. Only difference is the barrels. Let's make sure I have good velocity reading here. 352. 416. Baffling, because one was significantly lower. I think the only thing that I can do is do the whole best out of 3 things, right? I've got exactly 4 shots left in this bag that came from Texoma. So I'm going to use all the ammo that I have for you guys and just repeat that test one more time for the good 3-shot average I know a lot of people want to see. Very last volley. I'm excited because this should be the defining facts that people really do want to see about this platform, right? Did the mass-produced version live up to the incredible hype that Jim at Texoma really did generate with such a good product? I always do the safety thing. 4, 3, 5. 4, 2, 2. Very consistent. Okay. Cocked. On safe. Single fire. Ready. I always do the safety thing. 3, 8, 2. 4, 0, 6. I think what we saw here is one fact. Because there's no adapter that's just butting up to the back of a barrel and having an inherent air loss at that point of connection, Jim's barrels just seem to bring a little bit more heat to the table than their AEA counterparts. Now, that's not to take anything away from the AEA stuff, right? We found it to be functional. We found it to absolutely match the functional performance of Jim's offering. However, it does seem in this case as if Jim's is just a little bit more refined. And for all the haters out there, just because you say, oh, there's no camera on the cranny, the very last number I spit out was 406, and you're looking at it, baby. All right, dudes. Hope you guys enjoyed that completely unbiased comparison of AEA 12 gauge barrels versus Jim at Texoma's 12 gauge barrels. I try to do everything right here, buy both sets, test both sets with integrity, and do everything on camera for you guys. Having provided this information, I think all you can do at this point is make your own decision and see what works best, not only for your availability, but for your budget. Both will work as advertised. It's just about what details really matter to you. I think it's gonna be a great place to go ahead and end this video, but if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe for more with that notifications button so you can stay current on the channel as well as when these videos come out. If you really like what you saw today, make sure you share it so other people can see it, and I'll catch you boys in the next one.